All right, well, we have seen a little bit of improvement in interest rates today, so that's good to be able to start one of these videos off with good news. It's been a while, y'all. We have seen interest rates increasing pretty steadily over the last 30 days or so, but the last 6 days we've seen continual improvement. So let's dive right in and look at the numbers. Not a huge change, y'all, but at least it's headed in the right direction. Mortgage News Daily, 30-year fixed rate conforming loan today, national average 6.59. We were at 6.65 a week ago. We were at 6.38 a month ago. So we're roughly a quarter of a point, not quite, better than we were 30 days ago. Now, here's the deal. We got mixed news today. We have seen the framework, a memo of understanding that has been circulating through the press for the last week or so between us and Iran that signals some kind of breakthrough is on the precipice, right? That we're just on the edge of something potentially good coming out of Iran. We got renewed attacks this morning from Iran. We have a rejection by the Iranian National Guard. So it's still unclear as to who's running that country and making decisions. It's clear they've got competing interests at the leadership level in that country, and getting the straight scoop out of that country is incredibly difficult if, in fact, we have somebody to negotiate a treaty with at all. So mixed news out of Iran. The hopes of that agreement being close to finalization pretty much considered to be false at this point. So we're farther away from a solution than we were yesterday. That would ordinarily have driven interest rates significantly higher. So why did we see some improvement today? Well, core PCE, personal consumption expenditures, the Fed's favorite gauge of inflation, came in at 3.3% on the core reading. That's exactly what was predicted for this report. But the month over month was up 0.2% versus the 0.3% that was predicted. Y'all, expectations were that this report would be a little bit hotter. The fact that it didn't surprise to the upside is giving a bit of a relief rally to the bond market, and we're seeing interest rates get that little bit of improvement as a result. Additionally, Q1 gross domestic product, 2% was what was expected, which is already soft, y'all. It came in at 1.6, so it came in significantly softer than expected. If we are heading towards a stagnant growth level or even a retraction, y'all, if we get closer to a retraction, remember 2 quarters of retraction equals a recession, and recessions spur the Fed into action to be more aggressive. Right now, we are seeing very little evidence that the Fed is at all interested in cuts anytime soon. We're going to look at that in just a minute. So what we are seeing, though, is a softening of domestic output. That in and of itself, y'all, could lead to a more accommodative Fed policy down the road. Those two things, PCE, Q1 GDP, are what softened the blow of deteriorating negotiations with Iran. It's the reason we've seen rates improving over the last 6 days. All right, CME FedWatch tool. We didn't look at this last week, looked at it this morning. There is only a 0.5%, a 0.5% chance of a cut between now and the end of the year. There is a 52% chance of rates remaining the same, and there is a 47% chance of a quarter or more hike by the December meeting of the Fed. So y'all, the chances are pretty much even that we will remain the same or have a hike by the end of the year. So for folks that are on the fence, I hope they hear that metric, because it's important to realize that the likelihood of interest rates being higher by the end of the year is significantly higher than them being lower by the end of the year. So it's important for folks to remember, y'all, that we are marrying the house and dating the mortgage. Find what you want, buy it today, and if rates significantly improve, then hallelujah, we will refinance you to that lower rate. You get the best of both worlds. You get to buy the house before it appreciates in cost. You get to find the one that you want when there's not a massive amount of competition, y'all. We are seeing a significant slowdown because of the uncertainty around where the economy is headed. Once that resolves, once we have a resolution to this war, you're going to see a lot more buyers in the marketplace, y'all, and you're going to be competing fiercely for those houses that are available. All right, so that is said to hopefully motivate some folks that if you're on the fence, you've got competing interests, y'all, on why waiting is an expensive proposition to make, and I'm happy to run that math for you. I want to leave y'all. I'm going to start doing a little tip of the day to end these videos. So I'm going to put this in the Justin Danger Nunnally form of Listen, did you know that on a VA loan, that any excess seller concessions can be used to buy down a borrower's debt? Y'all, every $200 of monthly debt that you can eliminate increases a borrower's buying power by about $30,000. So a lot of folks aren't aware that paying off a little bit of debt can make a massive difference on what they qualify for. I have seen numerous circumstances where just a little bit of debt relief gets somebody into a house that they're otherwise not able to get to. So anyway, just wanted to share that. Hope everyone stays blessed, stay safe, pray for peace, pray for this conflict to be resolved, for our country to get back to some degree of normalcy, and dare I even ask and pray for it, unity at some point. Looking forward to that, y'all, at some point in our lives. Stay blessed, stay safe. We'll talk to you next week.